Welcome back to the RXL Media YouTube channel. Today, we're going to be shifting gears and creating a poster for an upcoming TV series. If you've read the title, you'll know that we're tackling a poster from The Walking Dead: Dead City, the first Walking Dead spin-off show that centers on fan favorites Negan and Maggie and their adventures in post-apocalyptic New York City. I actually loved the Walking Dead series when I was younger, but I stopped watching after season 8 after losing interest. But after I heard the series had a release date and read about the wackiness of Negan and Maggie working together, doubled with the oddity of the location, the show caught my interest. And I wanted to take a stab at imagining what a proper teaser poster would look like. They had this announcement poster and they also have this teaser slide, but that's about it for official media other than the teaser trailer. Here's a complete list of all the stock images and models I've used today. Most are from Envato Elements. So with that, let's jump into Photoshop and make this thing. When envisioning the idea for the poster, I immediately knew that the main focus would be one of those snow globe souvenirs that you get at tourist destinations. I thought that the Statue of Liberty and a plaque that references NYC would really set the venue. I then thought it would be awesome to include a walker hand coming up from the center that is just about to grab the snow globe. I figured that this could represent how the dead have taken the city. After I did some lighting and color correction and assembled the table that the snow globe would rest on, I created a plaque that used a bevel and emboss effect to simulate text being engraved on it. I thought "I survived NYC" would be a perfect bit of irony to include. I wanted a sort of duo tone for the poster. I decided on blue and cyan to match the color tones of the teaser trailer. Orange is always a great contrast to blue, so I painted in some orange lighting on the hand and the snow globe, and added the orange light source, some flames and embers. Although we didn't have our background yet, I envisioned something burning that helped illuminate the scene. Next, I thought it would be a cool touch to make one of the walker's fingers just pure bones, like it's just been ripped off. After sculpting the right shape, I painted on blue and orange highlights to match the scene. At this point, I wanted the walker hand to have some more grisly features that make it seem old and rotten and not just a discolored hand. So I found a dirty grungy texture and warped that into position. Then I added a layer mask and painted the dirt and grunge on the hand. I really liked the dirt textures that I had downloaded, so I picked a couple more and overlaid them onto the table just to add those little details of age and decay. Can you tell I really enjoyed these dirt textures? As you're seeing now, the snow globe got a good spritz of dirt too. Next, I knew I needed to solidify this background. My vision was to have this table and snow globe be in a dilapidated gift shop that was falling apart, so much so that you could see the skyscrapers due to a wall that exploded. Maybe this explosion and fire were due to a conflict present in the show. For these things, it's best to tap into your imagination for justification. I grabbed a brick texture for the broken wall and masked out a shape for the jagged broken edge. To simulate a 3D effect, I simply duplicated the wall, moved it over a bit, and faded out the harsh edges. I also added the matching blue highlights and orange lighting towards the bottom. I also painted in some extra light coming from the right to justify the blue highlights on the hand. To add some motion, I added a motion blur to the fire and embers. Then I went over to Pexels, which is a great website resource that provides free stock photos, and I grabbed a photo of a New York City street view. I masked out the buildings and lowered their exposure and painted back some lighting. I knew that the lighting source creating the highlights on the top of the broken wall and the buildings would be some spooky moonlight. Moonlight comes from, well, the moon of course, so I added that in and painted in some dark clouds and used a little blend if to blend the moon behind the clouds. I used a solid color adjustment layer to paint in some nice moon glow and moonlight highlights to the clouds. I went back to the buildings and fixed the lighting to match the scene better as well. Now it was time for the finishing touches. I made some tweaks and polishes to the background and added a field blur to give the scene some depth. Then I added the logos of the show, the logo of AMC, and the show's premiere date. The last text I added was the names of the stars of our show. I went back in and adjusted the scene with some blood splatter on the globe and some moss textures on the brick wall and the table. And to finally finish it off, I added a camera raw filter and adjusted the contrast and colors to my liking. I enhanced the blues to give more cyan tones and gave the flames a bump in saturation. Post-recording, I went back in and added a few minor details like removing the actors' names because I thought it was a bit distracting from the rest of the poster, as well as adding snow into the snow globe. Thanks for watching. I'm really happy about how this poster came out. Since there's limited media for the show, I think it's a great time to be sharing these imaginative pieces of artwork that hype it up. I'll be interested to see where Negan and Maggie's story goes next. Stay tuned for more and visit www.rxlmedia.com if you're interested in seeing more of my portfolio work. Until next time, take care.